In this video, we are going to change the block rewards structure, Masternode rewards, and include a premine. To begin, let's take a look at the current parameter set by Premine. As you can see, their block time was 120 seconds. We have changed that to 60 seconds in the last video. The block reward is 50 Premine with 60% going to miners and 40% going to masternodes. Premine has a max supply of 14 million, halving 25% every 60,000 blocks. Masternode collateral required is 5,000 Premine. Now let's take a look at the changes we will be making for our new cryptocurrency. In our last video, we changed the block time to 1 minute. We will be changing the block reward to 20 Vision X per block, and changing the share between miners and masternode holders. It will now be 70% to miners and 30% to masternodes. We will have a max supply of 16 million coins. Halving will still take place every 3 months, but as our blocks are 1 minute and not 2, we will see the first halving at block 120,000. Finally, we will change the masternode collateral to 10,000. Inside your master folder, search for the file named main.cpp. To find the correct line of code, we need to run a search. Hold Ctrl and F to bring up the search bar. Then type in the word "N subsidy." You can locate the code on line 1748. The first line of code is saying, if the previous block number or height was equal to 0, then the next block should pay 3,400,000 coins. That is the premine. It is the amount of coins mined by the developer before others can mine. The premine is there to help the coin creator pay for further development, salaries for employees working on the coin, marketing expenses and exchange listings. From experience, a good premine amount would be 5% of the max supply. Any more than that, the miners are unlikely to be interested. There is a lot of fear that the developers will just dump the premine when they are able to sell on an exchange. For this reason, we have chosen to set our premine at 800,000 coins. That is 5% of our 16 million max supply. The next line of code says, if the previous block height is less than 800, then the block rewards is 0. This is what we call an anti-insta mine. When you release a coin for mining pools, there will be hundreds of miners waiting to mine your coin. If rewards were paid out from block 2, then the difficulty would be low and the first people mining would get a lot of coins. It's not fair to everyone. Also, you will need at least the first 100 blocks to get your support masternode online before you release. We will talk about this more later. 800 blocks is far too much, so I will be setting it at 200 blocks. Once I release the blockchain to the miners after block 100, there will be 100 blocks of 0 rewards. By that time the difficulty will be high enough to make it fair for everyone. The N subsidy shows the coin value at 50 per block, after block 800. This is what I will change to 20 after block 200. Now let's make our changes. Premine will now be 800,000 coins, which is 5% of our 16 million max supply. Next, we are going to change the block from 800 to 200. We are going to change the block rewards after block 200 to 20 coins. We going to give 1 coin to the first 200 blocks. This will reward miners who choose to mine early, without giving away too many coins. We could leave it at 0 as most others do, but I think something is better than nothing. Now scroll down to line 1767. This is where the Masternode share is set. Currently it is set at 40% of the block reward to go to the masternodes. A lot of miners complain that masternode holders get too much of the rewards. I think 30% is a fair amount. The important thing is to keep people mining. The more people mine, the higher the difficulty gets. Then, your coin becomes harder to get. This equates to a higher value on the exchange. If you set it so the masternodes get too much, then there will be less miners, and less value. Another thing to consider is that you need to keep both miners and masternode holders happy. Masternode holders acquire a masternode one of 3 ways. 1. They buy the masternode collateral from you using funds from your Premine. This will happen. I will show you exactly how to position yourself for this. On average, you can make up to 2 Bitcoin in pre-sales. Use this money to pay yourself a salary, or cover expenses of an exchange. 2. They mine 10,000 coins to start their own masternode. Some people do this, but most opt for the first option. 3. They buy the coins needed on the exchange, in which case, you will have put some pre-mined coins on the exchange for them to buy. You can make a lot of money if you sell slowly in small amounts each day. An estimate would be between $200 and $500 per day. So it is important to have a healthy balance to keep your coin attractive to both parties, especially if you want to make money. This is the code for the halving. We can see that it is set at 25% every 3 months. We will not change this. The max supply should be indicated here in the code. However, it is missing. Premiine has stated a 14 million coin max supply. However, as the code stands, it would be an indefinite supply. If you want to stop the rewards after a certain block height, then you would do it this way. Copy and paste this code below its current position. Then change the left-facing arrow to a right-facing arrow, indicating a more than sign. Now, let's say you have calculated 16 million coins would be in circulation at block 1,227,000. This is how it would look. Then change the reward value to 0. It takes a lot of math to work out the last rewarding block, especially with halving in play. Most developers do not put this in the initial code. What would happen is that they will put it in the code at a later date, likely when it's about 1,000 blocks before max supply is up, meaning you don't need to calculate this for a few years at least. Our block explorer will keep you updated on the circulating supply. Now all we need to do is save this, and we have successfully changed our parameters for the blockchain. In our next video, we will be learning how to change the masternode collateral. We will also be looking at how to restrict the max amount that can be sent through transactions.